Today on Let's Celebrate TV Basic Skills Day, we're making barbecue sauce. Hi everyone, welcome to today's episode of Let's Celebrate TV Basic Skills Day. I'm your host, Peter Lee. Today, we're making homemade barbecue sauce. Let's get started. Now, why are we making barbecue sauce? You can buy it in the store, there's dozens of brands, but let's be honest, how many of you out there will take one of the store-bought sauces and then doctor it? You make it spicier, you make it sweeter, you make it smokier. This is a basic sauce, kind of like one of the mother sauces, and you can take this basic sauce and then turn it into 100 different other sauces. We're going to start on a nice big pan here. Now, most barbecue sauces start with ketchup. This one doesn't. This recipe my mother made up in the 50s, and it starts with, believe it or not, tomato soup. Condensed tomato soup, something she always had on hand, and it gives a deeper, richer, pure tomato flavor. A lot of ketchups have sugars and other spices in them. This is pure tomato. I'm going to use 3 10-ounce cans, which comes out to around 900 grams of condensed tomato soup, right in our pot. Now, you don't want to add water or milk or anything. You just want this thick condensed soup. I know, me using store-bought product. To that, we need to add a little more to it. We're going to start off with some sweetness. We're going to get that with molasses. I have here 8 ounces, 240 mils of dark molasses. This is going to add sweetness, and of course molasses is dark and caramely and complex. Better than just brown sugar or white sugar. Now, vanilla acid, a little brightness. We're going to get that from apple cider vinegar. I have here 4 ounces, 120 mils. Why apple cider and not some other vinegar? This is a little lower acid than white vinegar or red wine vinegar, and it's going to match better with what we normally put barbecue sauce on. Think about it, you barbecue ribs, pork ribs, or chicken, sometimes fish. It's just going to match a little better. Now we need some freshness. We're going to get that from green bell peppers. This is 2 green bell peppers that I just cut up into big chunks. I'm adding these because they're going to add their own sweetness, their own freshness, and green bell peppers have that kind of green taste that's almost a little bitter, and it's just going to add more complexity. Now I left these big, but that way when the sauce is done, you can strain them out if you want, or you can just blend them into the sauce. Sometimes I leave them in there because I like the chunks of the peppers. Next up is onion. I'm going to add a little heat, a little more freshness, and it's the same thing. I left them big and chunky. If I want to strain them out, I can. If I want to leave it chunky, that's great too. Our next ingredient, you may be surprised. This is allspice. Now, a lot of times you think allspice is something you use at Christmas and like gingerbread cookies and things like that. But to this, again, I always say it, depth of flavor and complexity. This is a secret that makes this sauce what it really is. This is a very generous tablespoon. Right in. Now I'm going to give this a little bit of salt and pepper. Yes, the tomato soup has salt in it, but I'm adding all these vegetables that have their own water in it, so we need to add just a little bit of salt. You can taste it later and adjust as needed, but I am going to add a good, healthy grinding of black pepper. Now you're probably wondering, why didn't I add cayenne or some of these other flavors? That's something you can add later. Do this basic sauce first, and then you can adjust it. So we're going to put this on heat, medium-low. You don't want to burn it, but we want to bring this up to a boil and then let it reduce down to a simmer. Let's give this a stir, get it going. Once it goes to a boil, and you reduce it to a simmer. You want to let it go for an hour, hour and a half, and you're going to have this rich, dark, wonderful sauce. All right, I'm going to put the cover on this. I'm going to bring it up and then reduce it to a simmer. Okay, it's been about an hour and a half. Let's check our sauce. Ooh, lovely. It's simmering nicely. It's dark. It's reduced down a little bit. Let's give it a little stir. Oh, yeah. Ooh, you can't wait to smell this. I'm going to cut the heat. I'm going to give it a little taste for seasoning. It's very, very hot, but we'll just do a little taste. It's pretty good. Needs just a touch more. Tasting for seasoning is very important, especially in sauces like this. You can always adjust it, but you won't know unless you taste it. Now, what else can you do with it? This is like a mother sauce. So remember, make this recipe. Decide what you like. Maybe you like it as is. Maybe you want to add some garlic, maybe brown sugar, a little spice with some jalapenos or some yellow mustard would be nice. Maybe chili powder or Worcester sauce or even honey. All kinds of options with this sauce. Now I am going to let this cool. I'm going to blend in today these peppers and onions, but you see, here they are. They've given their flavor, but why not leave them in there? I'm going to put these on some pork spare ribs that I'll be making later for my family. As always, if you like this episode, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell, and you'll get a new episode every week. Now, as I said, I'm going to go use these on some pork ribs. While I do that, I want you to watch some of these episodes over here. So until next time, everyone, cheers!